Hi, my name is Assistant Professor Dr.Phongthorn Kongmun. Today I want to talking about feed and nutrition for ruminants. It's just kind of introductions of the nutrition of ruminant or the ruminant nutrition. The objective of this chapter is divided into three parts. The first one will explain about the gastrointestinal tracts of the ruminant and anatomy and functions. The second one is talking about the second is about digestion and fermentation process in ruminant. This is the first part. The second part is deeply into the detail of the ruminant microorganism and ecosystem, including the roles and functions of the rumination, behavior, feeding the rumen microbe, and let the rumen microbe feeding the animals. That is sentence is kind of classic, and already explain about ruminant digestive tracts. That is occur in different kind of monogastric animals. Rumen fermentation and product and the synthesis of microbial protein synthesis in the rumen that are beneficial for animals and for the farmer who has know that the ruminant animal can synthesis the good protein by themselves with if you know the technique like how to increase the microbial protein synthesis. The last part is talking about the metabolic disorder, for example, growth and prevent and treatments. Feed stuff for ruminant concentrate and roughage, and also learning about nutrition, nutrient uptake, and production efficiency in ruminant energy and protein requirement. Okay. What are ruminants? The ruminants are herbivores, grazing or browsing. Acquire nutrients from plants base, feed by food by fermenting it in a specialized stomach, prior to digestion. Principle throughout principally through microbial action. So have microbial action at the specialized stomach prior to digestion. That is they call fermentation. That is the process which take place in the front part of the digestive system, and therefore is called gut fermentation. The process typically require the fermented ingesta to be regurgitated and chewed again. The process of the rechewing the curd to further break down plant matter stimulate digestion is called rumination. The word ruminants come from Latin rumine, which means to chew over again and again. Okay, this is all about the meaning of ruminants. Huffman classification system of the ruminant. They classify into three. Is classified into three categories. The first one is browser. Or another we call concentrate selector. This is the concentrate selector type. So you can look at what kind of animal in this group. Okay. The second one is intermediate feeder. IM intermediate type. That means they can eat concentrate with roughage in like two kinds in the same amount. Okay, this is all animal that are belonging to this category. The third one is grasser animal. It's called bulk or roughage eater. It's kind of a large ruminant that are grazing grass on the field. Okay, movement and this kind of animal on this category. Okay, the gastrointestinal tract in the rumen anatomy and functions. Okay, how the difference between non-ruminant animal and ruminant animal, how it differs. They call this type, they call monogastric animal, like swine, and this one is goat or small ruminants. This one small ruminant is swine. Okay, the small ruminant. Okay, comparative the digestive system between these animal. If you look at like the physical like appearance, you can see mouth, but other than that you cannot know what about this and more further inside of the body of the gastrointestinal tracts, okay, of each other. So if you look at the different kind of these ruminant has a dental pad on upper jaw. Okay, they have no teeth on upper jaws, so they need to eat grass. They need to eat to chewing grass, and they have just only dental pads. What's going on? What about how hard that they can utilization of the grass, and how the digestions or degradation in the body of the in the intestinal tract of the ruminants. So we'll look at more deeply information after this. Okay, this one is, if you look at the appearance of animals, ruminants, you can finding, okay, feed can be uptake by mouth, and undigested feed that cannot be digested and cannot be absorbed, cannot be digested, cannot be absorbed and metabolized in the body. So it will going to out of the body of the animal by the anus, okay, or small intestine, and by anus. So this part is in and out of the way in and the way out of feed and undigested feed in the body of the ruminants. So what happened inside their body? So we need to know what's going to be happen after chewing and swallow the digesta or ingesta in from mouth to small to esophagus, and go to a big part compartment of stomach, and go to small intestine, large intestine, and out in anus, okay, colon and anus. So when you are learning this, you can have to must to know and understand the order of gastrointestinal tract from mouth and until the last one is large intestine. So the order of feed or ingesta or cut that's going in each part of the intestinal tract in the animals, and you have to know first, late, second, third, blah blah blah. Okay, the first one is from mouth, and first esophagus. Esophagus. Okay, and after that it will go to reticulum and rumen. Okay, this is first. Okay. So the rumen is big one and reticulum is a small party on front of the ruminant. Okay, and after that go through omasum and abomasum. So part of ruminants reticulum is gonna be like farther back. Okay, go. That's called this one and back to this and up to mouth and back to this and back to this and go like this. That's called rumination. Okay, and this is 5, 6 and 7. Okay, 7 is large intestine. Okay, and then out. Okay, 8. Okay, so this is all the gastrointestinal tract or GI tracts in ruminant. Okay, so this picture is more clearly and show a whole of the gastrointestinal tract in ruminant. So you should to understand and can order first and second, third, like the order of the gastrointestinal tract in a whole body from mouth to large intestine. Okay. In this part of the utilization of from feed or feed stuff from environment and then animal uptake or intake feed and one to utilization. So in our body human, we have like a digestive system, or they have a process is digestion process. In mouth, they have mechanic of digestion from teeth. Okay, from mouth and teeth, and when feed going down to the rumen is have fermentation process from the microorganism. So what is the difference between digestion and fermentation processes in ruminant? Digestion and fermentation. Okay, what digestion is referred to the breakdown of food into a small component that can be absorbed into bloodstream. This is digestion. Breakdown a large molecule of the nutrient to a smaller molecule, like a building block or just single molecule. That's a smaller one, monomer or something like that. So that it can absorb where it can absorb in small intestine. Okay, and the digestion is using enzyme for digesting. The enzyme come from the body of the animal. Okay, from the body of the animal. Enzyme from the animal. Okay, and what's about fermentation? Fermentation process is using this is the role of the microbe in the body in the gastrointestinal tract, especially ruminant. It's come from rumen part, and that's the sac, a big sac in 4 compartment in gastrointestinal tract. So fermentation is enzymatic decomposition and utilization of the feedstuff. Okay, particularly carbohydrate by microbe. Fermentation takes place throughout the gastrointestinal tract of the animal, but the intensity of fermentation depend on microbe number, which are generally highest in the large bowel. The large intestine is quantity of the most important site of the fermentation, except for species with four stomach. Okay, four stomach, that is ruminant. Further, there are major difference in the contribute of the fermentation to energy production of different species. Look at which part we call fermentation, which part we call digestion. Okay, so in the rumen, okay, rumen, yeah, reticulum, cecum, large intestine. This is the part that using have a fermentation process. So from which part is take place from digestion process? Abomasum, small intestine, go. Okay, so fermentation is what who take responsibility is in microbe. Okay, and using enzyme from microbe. Okay, but for this one, host or animal use enzyme, host enzyme. Okay, this also. So this is different between fermentation and digestion process. If look at the section of the section of the body of the cow, so we will understand like which part, which side of the inside the body, gastrointestinal tract is presses in the normal size of the animal. So which side parts left or right of the animal is take place by rumen, because of the rumen have the rumen are the big wet the big part of gastrointestinal tract. So which left side of the animal of the animal stomach is rumen was placed on that side. Okay, so it's the big one. Rumen is the big part. Rumen. Okay, so rumen still here forever. Okay, and functions. Okay, functions and of compartment. Rumen reticulum has a fermentation. Okay, fermentation by microbe activity. This is have fermentation and rumination. Okay, rumination. Okay, change the different color because it's this one is important one. It's okay. Okay, fermentation by microbe activity, fermentation as well at the reticulum, and have a process rumination. Okay, rumination, that it can be these and these. Okay, and after that, omasum is just a small part and very thick and hardness. And these parts have action or function like absorb water from the digester and make the water or digester dry on this part before going to send the digester to abomasum. Abomasum is function like our stomach or true stomach. Digestion by host enzyme, the enzyme from the stomach and the enzyme from the stomach. Yes, HCl and hydrochloric pepsinogens zymogen enzyme. Anatomy and functions of the fermentation vat. The first one is rumen, okay? The rumen. They call fermentation vat. Fermentation vat. Fermentation. Fermentation is occur here and has a microorganism. Like bacteria, protozoa, and fungi. Okay, and rumen wall has papillae, can be absorbed volatile fatty acid or VFA. Okay. Bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and nutrient to animal blood vessel. So fermentation has a fermentation in product. Okay, and this is true, is absorbed by small papillae of the rumen wall and then absorbed to blood vessel into liver, muscle, and circulate into the body. Okay, and then can secrete by kidney. Okay, kidney and urine. Okay, so this is the pathway of the fermentation in product that fermented by rumen microbe. Okay, how big of the rumen? Okay, as the mature of rumen has very bigger than other one. Okay, so rumen capacity has a 10 times higher than those three stomach. Why the rumen is so important? Why rumen is so important? So did you know the development of rumen, okay, in animal, okay, from birth to mature? Okay, so this is show the state of rumen development in the ruminant. As a calf, rumen has just only 30%, and abomasum has a capacity 70% because of they feed only milk. Okay, after this, okay, weaning stage, the rumen develop into 70% and abomasum is still the same side. Okay, the same side, but the rumen has developed because they can eat concentrate and raw fish. Okay, raw fishes. And after 4 months, okay, it's gonna be bigger than that, but it still had the same percent of the big 80 fully developed 80 and 8%. Abomasum 7 to 8%, reticulum 5%, something like that. So the rumen did not is not developed or biggest since a calf, but they need to develop. It needs to develop. It depends on the feed that animal can eat. So from milk to concentrated raw fish, after weaning, go to eat concentrated and raw fish until after 4 months is fully developed of the gastrointestinal tract of the ruminant. Okay, so you can have rumen biggest one and more digest, more microbe inside, microbe function. function. This is pre-ruminant, and this is heifer after wean. Okay, after weaning. Okay, you can see this one, and read this one. Okay. Rumen microorganism and ecosystem in the rumen. Okay, they have rumen micro is can classify in a big three group, in the three groups that we call big, like a predominant microbe or rumen microorganism in the rumen. First is bacteria as highest population. Protozoa and fungi has like lower half population. Population of bacteria. Which one is bigger size? This is the biggest size, and this is small. Okay. So you can have this table. This table show percent of mass and generation interval time for generate from one cell to multiply to 2 cell, 2 for 4, something like generate the populations after feeding. Okay, after feeding, and the number. Okay, this is billion, this is thousand, is minimum. Okay, mass a lot, in medium, and the lowest one. This is very fast of the generation interval time, and this is later, and the slowest one is fungi, 24 hours. Need more take time to have a complete cycle. Okay. Reticulum, this is part of reticulum here. There's something sometimes called honeycombs, something like this one, honeycombs. Okay. That means they have like a honeycombs. Okay. Its function is to interact with rumen in initiating the mixing activity of the rumen and providing additional area for fermentations, helping rumination process. Okay, what is rumination process? Omasum is the third of the 4 stomach compartment. Following the rumen and reticulum, the omasum main function is to absorb water, electrolyte, and VFA from a partial digestion food that come from the reticulum. It also involves grinding, sorting food particles, further preparing them for absorption in the small intestine. Here is the size of omasum. And the last compartment called abomasum is called like a true stomach, like a human stomach. Okay. The abomasum is called true stomach of a ruminant. It is compartment that's most similar to stomach in non-ruminant. Okay, ruminant. The abomasum produce hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes such as a peptin, and receive digestive enzyme secretion from the pancreas, such as the pancreatic lipase, break down fat here as well. This secretion help prepare protein for absorption in the intestine. The pH in the abomasum generally ranges from 3.5 to 4.0. The abomasum secreted mucus to protect their wall from acid damage. This is the functions of the abomasum. This the anatomy of rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. Human stomach is ruminant abomasum. Okay. Small intestine and large intestine. Small and large intestine follow the abomasum as a further site of nutrient absorption. The small intestine is a tube up to 150 feet long with a 20-gallon capacity in a mutual cause. Active nutrient absorption occurs throughout the small intestine, including rumen bypass protein absorption. Digesta entering the small intestine mix with secretion from the pancreas and liver, which elevate the pH from 2.5 to between 7 and 8. This higher pH is needed for enzyme in the small intestine to work properly. Bile from the gallbladder is secreted into the first section of small intestine to aid in digestion. The intestinal wall contains numerous of finger-like villas or villi. They call villi. Projection called villi that increase intestinal surface area to aid in nutrition nutrient absorption, muscular contraction, mixing digesta and moving it into the next section. The large intestine function absorb water from material passing through it and then to excrete the remaining material as a feces from the rectum. Okay, so this is all about the part of the gastrointestinal tract anatomy and function. So it will explain more after this in part number 2. See you on part number 2.